Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bingley Town Council planning meeting. I'm filling in for our erstwhile chairman, who is currently residing in the BRI. So I think our thoughts are with him. But he did get me to pick some mince pies up for members and the office staff to enjoy a little bit of Christmas with him. Right, apologies for absence. We have Councillor Drucker and obviously Councillor Clough as per book. Proposed Mr Fenton, Philippa Gibbons, all in favour. Super. Disclosures of interest.
None received. None
Minutes of previous meeting as circulated. I'm quite happy to propose them. Second, Council gentlemen, all in favour? That we're here. Super. Confidential items to be discussed. Don't think we have any, do we?
No.
Public participation. Nope. Ongoing issues. Do we have any notified planning panels? Notified appeals?
No.
Previous planning applications as circulated, the big sheet with the colours on. Bradford Council seems to generally agree with us.
A debate there, isn't there?
I would just say I note that the Heights Lane one was withdrawn. I wonder if that means it might reappear.
I would imagine it will reappear at some point in another guise, but we shall just have to wait and see what happens to that one. Right, so we move on. Consideration of planning applications. Number one, it's 61 Woodside Crescent, Cottingley.
Yeah, I think Cottingley seems to be a flavour of the month. I think there's about 3 or 4. I think I've been past. Yeah,
it's where all money is.
Yeah, it seems to be the property itself is a detached property. On they propose to do a side extension and a new front canopy with a nice Juliet balcony, and with the I think they're using nice steel frame with toughened glass. I'll read up the spec and everything, trying to create an extending a sitting room really, and an office and a bathroom. It's a really large, it's a corner plot, and it doesn't really, in that area there's a lot of properties of that similar size, so it doesn't really overlook or kind of affect anybody's properties in that sense. Obviously, it's really difficult. I was going through, I was thinking of looking at, there was an objection received, but you can't actually tell what that objection was for. Maybe it may be, obviously, in terms of it may be the size or something like that. But in terms of, obviously, as you can see from that side, they've extended that porch on the side, have made it larger and gone across. So in a way they're using the most what they've got on the side, but it doesn't really affect much of, in terms of the appearance or anything like that. It just probably, they're just trying to use the most size of the property. So in terms of that, I don't really have, personally, I don't have any problems with that, and I recommend it for approval. It looks nice, and it's not really nice out of character of the area. That's my.
The slope inside on that extension. What's that gap between there and the fence?
Which slope is that?
No, the diagonal
That's
slope.
the
That's
but what's the distance?
What's the distance between the slope of the extension?
Tell exactly, but they probably had enough within, the.
So like a metre
or over. I think they have to leave
a metre.
A metre.
Is it
plus,
a metre?
Yeah.
Don't look at I don't
look
know.
a metre in terms of
Doesn't look a metre, does it? But I just wondered if that's what it.
Will that? Because it appears there is an arrow. Will that expand? There is an arrow.
Should do, shouldn't it? No, lower down. Go down. Go to this.
Can you just make the whole thing bigger?
Yeah, can we make it?
Absolutely.
Should be a plus mark.
Let's have a look. They should have it.
Just pull it down, pull it up a bit.
Yeah.
300.
300 to boundary.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get anybody down there.
No.
How do you get into the back?
So that'll get knocked on the head because there ain't space, is there?
Yeah.
Is it 3 or is it 5? But I mean, whichever
It's
it is,
not
it's
enough,
still-
is
It's
it?
very
No,
tight.
it's not
tight.
enough. It's, if you actually look at it, there's a significant extension already.
On the other
And if you
side,
take
oh,
them into
The other side.
consideration, that whole property is almost subservient to the two extensions. The extension should be subservient to the property.
Not the other way around.
I'm sorry to disagree with you. I think it's overdevelopment.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of a Juliet balcony because there's none in the area whatsoever, and I think there'll be issues with people looking across. I know you can look through a window.
Yeah.
I think it's already been extended substantially, and I would say it was overdevelopment.
Yeah.
The other issue is it's on a corner plot,
Yeah.
and access is particularly difficult onto the road.
That was my only concern. Really, was over.
I don't think there's enough
oversized,
space.
Really, in a development. That was the
Cramped,
concern.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It makes
cramped.
it makes the whole site
Yeah,
So
cramped.
I'd like to propose refusal on overdevelopment and unsuitability of the particular design to the area.
I'm too close to the boundary.
Yes.
Too close to ground. Size, scale and massing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can,
Yeah.
So I'd
We have a
propose
second
that.
for that.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All those in favour? Refuse. Refuse. Right, we move on to number 2.
I think it's
Again
me
in
again. It's me
Cottingley.
again. I think
Round
it's a-
Hill, Cottingley.
That's
Round
it,
Hill,
yeah.
we did try to have a look,
Yeah.
but we got the wrong Round Hill and then realised it was in the middle of Eaton Estates.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
we see it on that,
any
please?
further, yeah.
Yeah, can you put that on? Yeah.
But obviously, Councillor Mead, if you've got
Yeah, it's a detached property. It's more of a kind of a stone built property, and I think what they're proposing was to do a single story extension to the front and rear. I think that was, and they're trying to keep it in line with the extension with using the natural material in terms of the wall and the slates and etc. Again, it's a large plot. I think there's a
massive
large,
plot,
very
isn't it? Yeah,
large
it's
plot
massive.
of land as well. And in terms of the properties, they're fairly the distance away. I think in terms of, I think also I've read, the public pathways, Dave Russ, comment where he doesn't have any kind of objection, but obviously in his letters there's no objection, but they must keep, in terms of the, the public footpath shouldn't be obstructed and any kind of storage, be put on there, or changes of any kind of gates and all that taken off. But his recommendation, obviously, is saying that they have no problems in terms of that.
as long as they
proposal.
agree
As
with
long
it.
as agreeing with that, with David Roos, on that. So, and there isn't any kind of objection on that property itself, really. And,
I think it's a
Oh,
drop, it's a drop
I
in the
will
ocean,
declare
isn't
an
it?
interest now I've just seen who it is. I do know Mr. and Mrs. Eaton.
yeah. So,
Baroness.
is it bad? All right. I didn't know that. I didn't know that as well. Yeah. So really, in terms of, I don't see a problem with this one. Really, I'm asking for approval. Really, there's
So
no
you, are you
objection.
proposing?
I'm proposing for approval.
All in favour?
Right. It's the Cottingley show.
No, it's the Cottingley show.
Number 3.
Yeah,
To Glendale Cottingley.
Yeah. This is the property itself. It all seems to be another detached property in Cottingley. This Glendine is this single-story side garage extension, and they want the curb to be dropped. I think in terms of if you can just go on that. I think what they're trying to do is replace the existing garage, trying to knock it down and making something a bit more permanent on that. And they're going to be keeping in line with the other areas. There'll be obviously the walls is done and render and keeping in line with the roofing, blue slates, etc. And they've also got construction of a 2-story. I've just found out as well, which has already been approved in the past.
Oh, right.
This property, and it's already been granted. So, in some sense, it's just, as you can see, the only concern I have, because the path, where the curb
Oh, the corner.
is the corner, that's the slight concern I have in terms of lowering that. Is that going to cause any kind of highway issues. So I'm not. So on that one, I wasn't too
It's
sure.
not an ideal
Yeah.
driveway.
That's correct.
It
Yeah.
is a significant extension, two-storey extension they've already got on.
That's right.
So I think they've demolished
it.
garage,
Yeah.
and then they now want the garage back. Why didn't they apply for it? in the
Exactly.
first
I know,
place?
that's the
Yeah.
bit that
Yeah.
concerns me.
Yeah, yeah. I think
And
the
if
one
you
they
look
want-
at size to the existing building, again, it's a significant
Yeah.
chunk increase. It's not subservient, and it's crammed into that corner plot, somewhat shocking.
and there's also a stream going underneath. You know where he shows.
Oh,
the-
they're talking about
yeah.
is that a stream?
Yeah, some kind of stream underneath is going.
Piped it.
Yeah, have they piped? Yeah. So on
I'd
this
go
one,
for what we said on the other one.
yeah,
Overdevelopment.
Is it,
Overdevelopment,
I'd be happy with that.
highways,
Yeah.
particularly
Safety
there.
issues,
correct,
yeah.
issue.
Are you proposing that?
I'm proposing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're proposing
So
I'm
same as the first
one, yeah.
Side
So,
dressing and scale, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and highways, yeah.
highways.
Yeah.
That is refused.
Yeah.
Right. 56 Otley Road, the next one. A little bit down the way from me. Council Fenton, I do believe you.
Is this the one with the windows?
Number one.
The one. I can't read your writing again. Or is it my writing?
You're writing.
Is it the window one?
The window one, I think. That's what it's. Bear with me a second.
I've got the documents here. See, number
Four.
Suppose
Just
not.
bear with me a second. I will notate this to what Council Fenton needs.
Is this windows?
No,
It's a first floor extension, is it?
Yeah, no.
Side
Yeah,
extension.
Yes.
extension with
Yeah.
internal.
Yeah.
I think it's the one that we basically said no comment really.
Did you? Again, that seems to me to be. You've got what is currently a garage that becomes a ground floor, and then a massive second floor above it that is more than double the size, doubles the size of the property. I thought this one was
Overdevelopment.
overdevelopment. Yeah,
Overdevelopment.
overdevelopment.
Whereabouts is it exactly on Otley Road, David? Whereabouts is it?
As you're coming up from the post office, there's a little row of terrace houses, then there's that big house, and then there's the footpath that goes down the back. And then there's a pair of semis, Eldwick something or other, and then onto Moorcroft. There's two set back.
These are in the middle of nowhere, aren't they?
They're in the middle of village, but there's a huge house to the left of it, which is the one that butts right onto the road.
Is that what, by the health centre? What was the health centre?
Don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Let's have a look at the
Layout.
Layout.
At the
location.
Location. Let's.
Yeah, something like large stuff, yeah.
I think there is another one that has it on, but
There's
it didn't make any sense to me at all.
Is the garage fairly recent?
Yes.
Yeah, another one.
And
Yeah.
there's a little driveway goes down.
Can't wait a minute.
Does that make any sense?
Is it next to Eldwick Croft, is it?
What's the name of that road that runs just in front of
Otley Road.
No,
down the
The
side
one
of it?
that goes down the side.
Yeah.
Glenview Road.
Glenview
Glenview
Road.
Road.
Yeah.
So that's a little row of road.
Yeah.
Semis that go down,
Yeah.
and then there's a pair of
Well,
semis
that house
at
is
the
on an
top.
extension route. Not wrong ago, isn't it? Is it?
The garage some time ago, but
Yeah.
recent. But I think what they're doing is just building on top of garage.
Yeah, but they're not. They're converting garage back into.
Well,
Building
it's
above.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't work out which
Building
property it
above.
was at all. Yeah, I couldn't work out looking at it.
Building on
Is
top
it
of
kind of
it.
a semi? Is it? Is this a semi?
Yes, it's a semi.
Is this, the other semi looks smaller, didn't it?
There's very little room to expand
Oh,
on
is
it,
it?
and the
Okay,
house
the house.
to the left of it
Yeah.
is an old farmhouse with quite a large garden. But that is actually right on the roadside. There's just a
It's right up
footpath
to
there.
pavement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that actually it?
Yeah.
So that's the one you're talking about.
Oh, that's, yeah, I know which one you mean now. Sorry, yeah. Yes. Yeah. They've only just recently had an extension. That garage only just recently been built.
Yeah, well, last few
Not
years.
long ago,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, not long, not that long ago.
So now
it's
they're
been-
converting it to.
and now they're converting it. I think it's been sold, hasn't it?
It was for sale for a
Yeah,
while
so it's been
ago.
sold, and
Yeah.
now the new occupant has been
But I
sold.
think
hasn't it?
if you look at just what's proposed at that front elevation for living accommodation compared with what was originally there, it is massive, isn't it?
On what you've based some of the other comments on. Applies equally to
It
that
does,
one, really.
yeah. If anybody wants to give me a proposal,
Out of balance with the intake. It's the same as the first one.
yeah.
It does, yeah.
Is somebody going to propose
I'll propose it.
that is a refusal,
Yeah,
as in size, massing,
Yeah.
Size, massing, yeah.
Scale and
Increase-
Scale.
yeah.
but not the highways.
No, not highways.
I'll second that one then.
Okay. All those in favour?
Yeah.
Right, we head on to number 5, Five Rise Locks Hotel. To stick a double garage within their curtilage.
Can we see it again,
Is that
please?
separate to the building?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's-
it's attached into
It
it's
seems
off-
to take up a couple
Yeah.
of the old car parking spaces.
Ah, right.
It's tucked at the back of the wall.
Well, it's back of the wall next to the road, though, isn't it? My only concern with this one is it's 2 out of 6 parking spaces. So do they come back and
But it's a house.
No, I know it's house.
Has it
But
been
does the
sold?
garage become more of a garage, become a
Has it been
another
sold
property?
then? Has it been sold?
Yeah.
They're working on it now.
So
Oh,
that's
there.
existing.
working
They're converting it back to a house.
Yeah.
The other one's exactly the same.
Is it?
Going
Yeah,
back
it's
to a
those 2
house.
parking spaces. They're just
And obviously there's the little bungalow within the curtilage of the
So
side.
as long as
as
they
well.
can reverse from the garages onto the road without going out backwards, I don't have an issue with it.
well, they can just reverse it out
Yeah,
back
it's
and
just
then
a
drive
existing
out
space,
forwards,
right,
can't
yeah.
they?
I don't have an issue.
Do we
I'll
have,
propose it.
we have a proposal for
Acceptance.
accept from Councillor Fenton, Councillor Mears second. All those in favour? Unanimous. Right, number 6. Castle Fields, number 41. Side story and double story front extension.
Yeah, I had a look at this one. I mean, when I have a look, there is another house down the road that does have a double front extension. Because that was the bit I was concerned about whether Bradford would allow that at all. But there is another one further down the road that has got one. The side extension's quite small. The front's within the permitted development. Because it's less than 3 metres, but it's 2-storey. I can't see any reason why we would refuse it.
So it's really copying what somebody's done further down the road.
Yeah,
There are various.
Proposing that.
I am proposing that.
Yeah, all in favour, yeah.
All those in favour?
Yeah.
We have somebody seconded it, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Number 7, Gilstead, or should we say the former Gilstead Post Office at 63A Gilstead Lane, new shop fronts. Can we just bring up and see what exactly the proposal
That's a no-brainer, is that?
That's that pebble dash building, isn't it?
Yeah.
The plastic
Yeah.
windows,
Yeah.
isn't it? Well, anything's an improvement.
I didn't
Not
realise
just
that the
doing
lady
that
lives
building.
above it.
Yeah, there's a
Well, they're
flat.
just going to put bigger plastic windows.
Did somebody say we're going to go about?
Don't know what
That's what I'd heard. I don't know whether that's true or not, but
No good for us, no.
No.
Have they got a flat upstairs or something?
There's a flat upstairs.
I'm saying little. There's a lady lives above
Oh,
it.
does it? Yeah.
I didn't realise that. So they're all in the ground floor area, aren't they? From what it was. That's the existing, like when it was the post office on the right, and what they're doing.
Making
On
some
the
bigger
left.
windows.
Yeah.
Does it say what materials they're using? Does it say what they're getting into the conservation zone, is it?
It says PVC. It says PVC in the application form. It says same as existing.
Yeah, well, same as existing.
Well, I'll stick my head on the block and propose it.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah. I don't think it's there.
Councillor Mears seconding. All those in favour?
Yeah, no problem on that one.
Right, move on to number 8. 53 Gilstead Lane. That is just a little shunt down
This is the
way.
retrospective
That's the
one, yeah.
retrospective and retrospective. We're not particularly fond of them. Councillor Fenton.
I'm not particularly fond of retrospective, but in this instance, I suppose we'd have to grin and bear it because they've actually done a very good job. I've actually been to the windows. They haven't taken the proverbial, been careful what I say. They've put very sympathetic timber windows in. They've even painted them in an appropriate colour to the adjoining building. And I think it's an actual improvement to what was there before. So I would like to propose it.
I'll second that if nobody has any comments.
No.
Seconded. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Right, number 9. 21 Hazel Beck, Cottingley.
I think it's me again, yeah.
It's you again.
Cottingley seems to be
Flavour of the day.
Yeah, flavour of the day.
Somebody won't
I think that these people want to do a single story. Everybody had a side extension to replace the existing extension, which was, I think, I don't know how. First time I've seen there's two kind of conservative. One's at the back and one's at the side. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to take the side conservatory out and put a extension on the side. And the back extension, if you look at it, what they're trying to do is like create some kind of steps, because I think it may be on a kind of a, as you can see, and they're trying to make it into a solid with some, you know, I mean, solid walls and probably, you know, roofing and installation nowadays probably with them kind of conservative, probably cold and this and that probably. So in a way, it doesn't really, in terms of the conservatory would have been one of them, or would have been on that side.
Yeah.
And the back conservatory, I think they wanted, because they may be on a bit of a slope. They're asking for some steps going down on the back conservatory, and they're trying to keep. I think they're keeping it with the similar kind of materials that I've looked at. You know, I mean, to match the area, and it's a kind of large semi-detached property as well, a large garden as well. If you looked at the location plan as well, so it's not really too much out of character with the area.
I know when we went to go have
Yes.
a look at it,
Yeah.
you can hardly see what they've got already.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I honestly don't think what the proposal is going to make.
No, it's not going to make much difference really.
Only somebody in the wood at the back.
That's great. Yeah. Exactly, David. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm just saying for approval on that one. So saying for approval.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Second it.
Yeah.
Right. Faster than I can ask for more comments. Right. Okay, that's another approval. That is all we need to look at today. So, date of next meeting is proposed of Tuesday, 16th of January. So, happy chaps and chapesses. Good, we don't need to exclude the press because there is nothing to talk about.
Because it was all about cutting.
Thank you all for coming this evening.